Hi everyone and welcome to enl8ghTENment TV. Now in today's video I will be addressing two issues at the same time, and the issue is with enl8ghTENment the way I've described it to you, and with how can you be sure that enl8ghTENment exists based on my example. Now, look, this is if you're not familiar with it, you will for sure know what it is. This is the Palace of God in the cartoon Dragon Ball Z. And if you remember my enlightening meditation, the final sequence is like basically it's all gray. There's the gyroscope configuration, one more turn, and then shot up, and then I see the pinkish and greenish stars and golden brown dust. And you see the Palace of God. Even the gray tiles there, which they show that it's based on, even this fits. In my head it was all way more gray than this, darker. But even this fits, you know. They show you the grayish tiles, pinkish and greenish stuff, the roof and whatever, and everywhere it goes. So here you can only just basically say now, okay, either you believe what I tell you and you leave the doubts behind, you know, or you say, okay, this is a hoax, whatever, well, not well scripted, but it's a hoax, right? He's taking this Palace of God as the base for the stuff, and then he's seen it then, and then now he's saying this and blah, so it's like crap, you know. But you cannot walk both paths at the same time. You must say either you believe me or you just say you don't. Because, I mean, when you tell this, or say I would have told this to myself 5 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever, and I wouldn't have this meditation, then of course I wouldn't believe it. I would just say, well, look, I mean, there's weekly, if not daily, a new Buddha on the internet rising out of the ashes like a phoenix and telling you how he's seen it all and he knows it all and he's super enlightened and whatnot, blah. And because I know, and I would have reacted with disbelief too, I have created season 1, you know, and season 1, to sum it all up, is my face is my ace. That's why I put my face into this camera, and this is my ace, you know. That's why they tell you to put the mask on and hide your aces. Don't use it and don't play it out, you know. Because it's like in German you say, Gesicht bewahren, keep your face, show your face, like as something to stand up for and to take a stand against or for something, you know. So you can evaluate the whole thing like, okay, can this be, or is it just a trash talk or whatever, you know. So I show you how I think, how I more or less am, and so on and so on. And as I say, now with this Palace of God thing, pinkish and greenish stars and golden brown dust. I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable, right? It's absolutely unbelievable, but they showed you already. I watched this 15 to 20 years ago. You probably too, right? Yeah, almost the same age, so it's kind of, as I say, I mean, it's just, I mean, am I basing and putting a whole channel on this thing, on this cartoon, which was aired 15 to 20 years ago, you know, like, conclusively not, right? Conclusively not. And the second issue is how you can be sure that enlightenment exists. And I give you again my example, how it was for me back then. When I started meditation, I always had my mobile as a clock next to me. I think it was because I was always in a hurry and I did this before school. I had some school crap going on. However, I always checked on the time. And when my first successful meditation happened And I think many people will have this feeling, or in a similar way can recall this. I was gone, so it's like the feeling of being gone, not asleep gone, but gone, like in another world gone. And it's super comfortable, you're super welcome, and it feels like warm and relaxing. You don't have the stress of this world, like you have just the hunger itself is already always stress, because you have to hurry and get your next meal and whatnot. So it was a stress-free world, it was a warm and welcoming world, and yeah, it's an overall just great experience to meditate, right? So people who already did kind of can, and it needs a little bit depth to it. It's not like from the first time. It was like, I don't know, after maybe 10 times, 7 times, 5 times trying till I had this feeling for the first time. Else it was just laying down and just like nothing ever happens. And then I basically wake up. I would say wake up, as I say, because it was just gone. It wasn't sleeping, but I was gone. So wake up, and judging by my feeling, 3 to 5 minutes have passed. I look on the clock, 1 minute has passed. And there's a difference between 3 to 5 minutes and 1 minute, right? There's a big difference. So straight away, I could draw the conclusion of the existence of the room of spirit and time. And that's why I showed you this Palace of God in Dragon Ball Z, because this is where this chamber, the room of spirit and time, actually exists. And in this chamber, the way this is in the storyline, in German it's called Son Goku, in English it's just Goku. Son Goku faces, I think it was Cell, and he can't beat him, and then Cell says, okay, you have 1 day's time limit, and then either you present me the strongest fighter here on Earth, and I'll beat him, and then the Earth is mine, or I'll just destroy the Earth like this, without anything. Something like this. So then what Son Goku does, he takes his red staff, and the red staff that represents the red laser, I'm pretty sure now, I'll talk about this in another video. He goes from Earth into this Palace of God, and then he goes into this chamber, and then he trains in this chamber, and then he comes back. So the special thing about this chamber is, while here on Earth 1 day passes, in the chamber it is a whole year. So exactly, then in the way in the story is he comes back and he beats Cell because he could train a whole year, and he could become then basically 100 times stronger or whatever, and he could beat him. And the same thing, the same effects I felt straight away after this meditation. Because the way this works for the mind is, you need time in order to strengthen the mind, right? You need to age to gain this wisdom, to gain this experience, to think this through and to think that through, and then to experience this and then see, okay, this is failure, this is a bullshit thought, and this is the right direction, and so on and so on. So aging of the mind, whereas you want to avoid aging of the body, right? You want to keep the body as unused as possible, as young as possible, and so yeah, there you want to do the exact opposite, so to say. And this is exactly what I've seen in this meditation straight away. My mind could age, develop, and live for 3 to 5 minutes, whereas my body only was aging for 1 single minute. And if you then think this is like really a visit into this room of spirit and time. Did I say space and time a couple of times? Yeah, it's a spirit and time. Der Raum von Geist und Zeit. And as I've seen this existence of the spirit, of the room of spirit and time within me, I straight away knew that if meditation is always portrayed like this, right? All the superheroes, they meditate, whether it's Naruto, whether it's Avatar Aang. Goku was meditating too, I think. But anyway, you have this thing always in basically almost any movie. So if this is shown, if meditation is shown to be the key and the path, and it is real, then I conclude straight away that the result of this, the so-called enlightenment that no one can define really, and this and that and this and that, also must be real. You know, because like as I say, I mean, how can your mind age for 5 minutes and your body only for 1? I mean, this is godlike. This is absolutely godlike. This is exactly what you want in your life, right? And yeah, this is basically the way I knew, and this is basically the way you can know now too. And it's basically up to you, right? I can show you the direction, but you must walk yourself. And I do hope that this is in a way proof to you that this is not some well-scripted hoax, but just the way it is. I mean, this is the truth. This is difficult enough to speak about it in a way, because if the meditation takes 5 seconds, roughly 5 seconds, and I need a 24 or something minute video to explain you how it was, then of course you were running already on super inefficient terms. So that in itself is like, yeah, super difficult and kind of really annoying in a way. But then again, I have to play the game the way it is, and to share my knowledge, well, as good as possible. And yeah, I think that's that. Thanks for watching, everyone, and see you next one.